Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another pre-market analysis live. This is Franco with Trading Futures Live. I'll be by myself today. Jersey's off also today. Hopefully we can have him back next week. So let's jump right into it. Like always, I like to start with the economic release report today, and we had a pretty important report. Came out this morning at 8:30. GDP quarter over quarter, Q2, another negative quarter. So by some analysts, this is called a technical recession, where with the economy decreased 2 quarters in a row. Now this number can be revised, and it will be revised. We don't know it's to the upside or the downside, but there's a revision for this number. This is a very complex number to calculate, so it's not easy. So initial jobless claim, a little bit worse than expected, but within the normal range. PCE prices, 7.1. It came as expected. We don't have. Oh, we have Janet Yellen speaking today, the Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. So that's pretty much for today. But tomorrow, there's another important news report that is going to come out. This is the core PCE and the PCE. This is the measure that the Fed uses to see how the inflation is going for them. PCE instead of CPI. That's what they do. Now the markets are going up a little bit off of the well, they were going up with the news report. Let's see here on the 30-minute. After the news report came out, we had this spike in the ES. It's pretty much neutral, right? Since yesterday, this is yesterday's close around where is it? It's here. Yeah, we haven't have any movement, but this is weird because we had a second negative GDP reading, and that's, for me, you can interpret that the economy is in bad shape, like is contracting, right? But the market is not going down. So that's one thing that I've learned in these last 4 years. I don't try to understand this. I just try to trade it, play the probabilities, and try to make the best I can. But if I try to understand, this is not understandable. Like, yeah, how the market is not gonna go down with the second reading of GDP contracting, right? But it is what it is. So I try my best not to understand this, but just to trade it. Okay? That's why we don't care about what the report result is. We care about when the report is coming out, so we can be aware of the volatility and use the volatility in our advantage. All right, with that, let's go again to the almighty US dollar. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th trading day. This is not unusual for the dollar. It's pretty much how the dollar works. We had this consolidation area a few days ago from July, from the beginning of the month, right? And then we had the breakout in like 3-4 days. So that's how the dollar behaves. We have to be aware of that. Like, same happened here, right? I do think, even though we're in a higher time frame and a long time supply, I do think the dollar has a potential, the macroeconomic environment has the potential to push the dollar to the upper side, right? Yes, we have had some retracement here, but is quote unquote normal, because we're in supply, and when supply comes into the market, the price, you know, slips a little bit, right? But that's not the case for the dollar. It hasn't give out too much, like probably 1% or half of a percent. No, a little bit more, like a couple of percent probably. But the trend obviously is up. I do expect the dollar to come down to these areas before it keeps going up, but it can certainly go up. Like I have I've learned from my expectations in this chart. This is a huge market, right? All right, with that, the dollar is neutral today. With the news report, we had a sharp move down. Now it's trying to hold. Now we had a like descending triangle here that we broke, and we blew from this. We blew this support point around here, but it's still holding now. Most likely because it came to this strong area yesterday that I had with the Fed meeting. I had this area. It came up around like noon and then collapsed with the Fed meeting, right? Like I've always said, I don't try to understand this, because if the Fed is moving a rate to the upside, right, the dollar is going to be more costly, like it's going to cost more money per dollar, right, in annual rate. How the dollar can come down? It's just traders that they trade this thing. So you cannot just rely on that decision making. All right, so that's the dollar. So for that we have the dollar neutral. Now the yen is the one that is very strong. Here is the dollar is being neutral, but the dollar yen is collapsing. Look at that. Look at this drop since yesterday, right? So the yen, here's the yen chart. Like I said a few seconds ago, the yen is very strong today. It has some supply, but I'm looking forward to the yen to do this, right? Break this high, come back, and then sayonara, right? We'll have a change of trend. If we don't break this supply, the overall trend in the yen is certainly negative, right? All right, the euro dollar. I want to check the euro dollar. The euro dollar is just the opposite of the dollar index, because the dollar index mostly is composed by this euro dollar pair. If we, like I said yesterday, that we could have had a negative day even yesterday, but it didn't happen. The dollar collapsed with the news. So I do think the euro is holding here, but it's not a good price pattern, at least in the daily. I do expect the euro to come here and here make a decision, right? If it wants to continue down or it wants to bounce back up. And if it bounces back up, and then yes, we could have a drop in the in the dollar index, and then this chart will go up. But I think the normal pace for a continuation pattern in this daily chart is just to continue to go down. Right? It didn't hit any supply right here. Like the supply starts around here. Let's put a zone right here. This is the daily chart, so we have to narrow it to a slower time frame. But certainly this is a supply, a very good supply. Double bottom here. This is a demand that turned into supply, or a resistance support that turns into resistance. What about the bonds? Bonds are going up today. Bond yields are going down. Give me 1 second here. All right, bond yields are going down, and if the dollar spikes back up with the yen and the bond yield collapsing, that's a risk-off day. But I don't want to say it's a risk-off day, because it's a mixed bag. Like the dollar is neutral, the yields are going down, and the yen is going up. So we have 2 out of 3 components that I use for the direction of the day, right? A very interesting chart that I want to look at is the VIX. This is in a very narrow range. It hasn't moved really since mid-month, July 14th, 15th, right? It's been in this range, but I do expect the VIX to have some sort of reaction off of this area, right? And we're about it, like we're almost there, right? CL, I just want to take a look at CL real quick. I think CL is right here. CL is going up, but not by much, 1.5%. It has some supply right here, so I will pay attention to this. Even, no, not that one. So I think CL has some room to go up though, right? It's really in a very crowded area. It's been here since February. Hasn't broken $90 since February. So let's wait for the CL. Now the market likes a lower price CL. Right now is $100 is a little bit high. Metals are going up. That's expected with the dollar move down. Now the metals are being demanded right now. Like look at this huge gap. Gold and silver's gapped up. All right. What else I do have? All right. Let's see. Let's go over the. This is the ES. Let's go over the markets real quick. So for me, the ES made a really nice move. This is an ascending triangle right here. This was a point where the ES could have come and continued down, but instead of continuing going down, just held this pivot. So this is a very strong pivot right now. It broke these 2 highs. This is the daily chart. Came back to retest it, and then is going back up. This is a pretty bullish move now. And I say this because I do see a lot of supply right there, like very close. I do have supply, and so I have this double bottom, right, created February and then in May, and then we have a huge supply. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trading days of a consolidation. Right, the market is not going to go through easily through this area. Probably we have some ups and downs right here. If the market happens to break this, right, then this is going to be your long entry for a continuation pattern. Now, the probability for me is this is a higher probability. The trend overall is down, right? Price, there are buyers involved in this, obviously. There's a lot of institutional buyers in this move, but here there's a lot of institutional selling, right, happening. So, like I have always said, I don't play swing trades yet. I want to learn it better, but this is an area that I will pay attention, and I won't be trying to go long when markets get to this area, right? Even if the context is very positive, I will wait because this is a very important area to go short. Similar scenario for the NQ, but the NQ is even closer, is already in the supply, and we had a rejection a few days ago, the 22nd, right? The real area starts here. So I want to see what the market does here, okay? We have a lot of catalysts today. We do have, and I want to take a look at them. We do have Apple's earnings, right? So Apple, right, had its earnings April 28th around this area. It's not a casual, like there's not how can I say this, like it's important that the market is coming back up to the same point where the last earnings were, right? So I do think this area can hold. So let's see what the market does after the earnings. So this is Apple is going to be one of the most important catalysts that the NQ will have. Apple represents approximately 12% of the index, right? So I do have this supply for Apple's earnings, and then I have around 165 if it happens to go higher, but this is not higher probability. It's just in the middle of the move. After that, I don't have much, like close to all-time highs, right? Then I want to take a look real quick. The other important earnings today is Amazon. Amazon is it closed yesterday in this supply. This is daily chart, and these are the two likely scenarios for Amazon in the upcoming days. Obviously, the higher probability is the drop, but I just want to see what Amazon does in order to trade the NQ. All right, so these two earnings are today in the afternoon. And with that, I think I'm gonna wrap up this live. Come back in 10 minutes. We're gonna go live for the trading session, and bye now.